Our third contestant is Bryce Herrenberg, failing to succeed. Failing to succeed, Bryce Herrenberg.
I am a failure. I am great at failing. I love to fail. So if you need somebody to get in there and really muck things up, I'm your guy. Fellow Toastmasters and guest. I didn't always have such a love affair with failing. In fact, once upon a time, I loved to be perfect. When I was growing up, I was Mr. Goody Two-Shoes. I always had to be first in class, first in line, first in everything. And then, when I was in 4th grade, I learned a very valuable lesson. Now, our teacher put together academic Olympics. So we had to gather a group of 3 students each, and each group would compete against each other group to try, in a Jeopardy-like kind of challenge, to try to see who was the smartest group in the class. So, of course, I sought out the 2 other smartest kids in the group, and myself included, of course. And we rocked it. We really nailed it. I mean, we were on fire. Bing, what is 42? Bing, who is Abraham Lincoln? Bing, what is the African Congo? We did it. We swept the competition. Unfortunately, that wasn't the end of the contest. My teacher threw us a curveball. She said, "Great, you guys have made it to the final round. Now, you're going to compete against each other." Oh no. Why did I have to choose the smartest people? Didn't I have chosen some people who were not quite as smart as I was? So, unfortunately, I failed. Or maybe fortunately. I failed miserably. I failed spectacularly. Got last place. I didn't think, I'm really not smart. You know, this failure just meant, okay, first of all, I was not prepared at all. This was something totally unexpected, and sometimes that happens in life. Sometimes you get dealt something totally unexpected, so what do you do with it? Second of all, I learned, well, there's still a lot more that I could learn. I'm not the best, and that's something that was really a relief. You know, after I got over the sadness and the disappointment and whatever else I was going through, I realized, hey, this is kind of a lucky thing that happened to me, because now I've got some motivation. I've been dealt a tragedy. I've had a blow taken to my self-esteem, to my pride, and now I can dig deep and really try to be a better person, to be a better student, to study harder. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to face those students again, but in my academic career, I have faced many more failures, and what I learned that day, I have taken to all other aspects of my life. Today, I'm a sales manager. And in sales, you have to get really good at failing. I love to fail in sales. Because if I make 100 calls, I am lucky lucky if only 99 people say, no, get out of here. And one person says, maybe. In sales, you really have to deal with a lot of rejection. And I love that rejection. I love when people say no, because that's a chance for me to hone my craft. It's a chance for me to say, hey, I know what can make a difference. You say no now, but just wait. And a lot of the biggest sales that I've had have been from people who told me no. No. No, stop calling me. No, get away from here. No. And then finally, okay. In relationships, same thing. My high school sweetheart and I broke up terribly. I broke up with her over email. It was awful. It was one of the worst ways to fail in a relationship. And yet, out of that failure, I met my wife. We've been together for over 10 years, and I'm happier than I could possibly be. I am very grateful that I failed in that other relationship. In academics, I've also failed. I dropped out of graduate school. But in failing there, I plucked up the courage to start my own business with my wife. And now we're running our own business. If I had been in grad school, I never would have done that. So sometimes failure is just a way, it's God or whatever you believe in telling you, hey, something that you're doing is not working out. So I want all of you to think about ways that you failed, and can fail. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a job. Maybe it's your health. It could be anything. And what is that failure telling you? What is it telling you to do? Because failure in itself is not bad. It's good. It's how you deal with that failure that can be good or bad. Some people are faced with failure and say, why bother? I shouldn't have even tried. But you can't hit a home run if you don't swing the bat. You have to try. You have to fail. Sometimes you have to fail many times before you find a way through. One of my idols, the great inventor, Thomas Alva Edison, said, I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Another one of his quotes that I love, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. So dare to fail. Your homework, we've talked a lot about school, so I'm going to take you back to your schoolhood days. I want you all to do this homework assignment when you get out of here, when you go home. I want you all to think of a way that you can fail. Something that you're afraid to do. Something that you probably can't do. But try it. Because the worst that can happen is that you fail. You say, well, that was really bad. You pick yourself up, and then you learn from it. Because failure is not the end. Each failure is just another step on your road to success.